Hi guys. Hi. Welcome to the live. It's just me tonight. You've only got me, but I'm sure I'll do. I'm I'm hoping that you guys will duru me because I'm a bit more crazier than Lejla. Anyways, how is everyone? Hello, hope you have a good stream. Thank you so much, Dragon Artworks. Thank you. Thank you. How is everyone? How is everyone doing this? A fine Friday evening. I'm here by myself. Lejla has abandoned me. She has given me up to the streets. No, I'm joking. She's busy today, so I'm here to entertain you guys and to basically just catch up and have a good time. Have a good time on live. We are live on YouTube and here on TikTok, so you guys can watch us. And I know that Sunny Hill Festival has started today in Pristina, and I know a lot of people are in Kosovo at the moment and in Albania and going to all the weddings and Dorsma and, you know, dancing their vol there. Just watching. I'm just watching them in jealous mode. I wish I could be there. But anyways, we're here. We're in London. We are streaming. Well, I am streaming from London. And yeah, I'm really flush today. I don't know what's going on. It's this weather in the UK. 1 minute it's hot, 1 minute it's cold. It doesn't stop. I don't really know what's going on. Mother Nature has really come for all of us after what we've done to it. So I guess that's what you get for doing what we've done. Yeah, and that's kind of it. Yeah. But how is everyone? I want to know where you guys are joining me from. Please let me know in the comments. I am seeing all the comments and all the people that are joining. Thank you so much for joining and for spending your evening with me, little old Leo. Little old Leo on your TikToks. Your TikTok live. Përshëndetje, ju uroj që t'jeni mirë. Bëni një rrugë shumë të fortë për gjithë një femror. Faleminderit shumë. Hereby Hasbi. Faleminderit shumë. Hi, Islamic Video. Hello. Thank you for joining. It's lovely to have you here. Yeah, what have we been up to? Well, there's a lot, actually. There's a lot that we've been up to. We are scheduled to do our next podcast video, which we're really excited to be back in the studio. The previous one, the most recent one, is with Bella, with Lejla's daughter. If you have not watched that, please go on YouTube and watch it. Bella did so well. She's a diva. She's amazing. She's intelligent. She is just everything that a mother wants their daughter to be. I heard some videos of you and liked it. Oh, thank you. Islamic video. Thank you so much. So that podcast episode was really a proud moment especially for Lejla, but also for me. And I'm so glad Bella came onto the podcast, because it's always a dream to have your child or just anyone around you to be on the podcast, because for me and Lejla it's a massive passion, and we don't really hold back on our opinions. Flodra Queen, thank you so much, Flodra. Why Flodra, thank you. Thank you so much. We're all queens in this chat. Everyone's a queen. You speak very well Albanian as well. Yes, thank you so much. Well, Albanian is the mother tongue. It is my mother tongue. My parents didn't have money to send me to Albanian school, but I learned it from watching this is going to be really funny. I learned to read and write Albanian from watching the Turkish soaps with my mum, and that's where I because they're all in Turkish obviously, and I wanted to know what they were saying, so that's kind of how I learned how to read and write. And also my husband, he is a Pristinali just like me, but he was actually born and raised in Pristina, and lived there into his adulthood, until God blessed him with me. And so we only speak Albanian, so that's kind of I speak the Kosovan Albanian, but read and write pretty much Albanian. So thank you. But that's kind of how the Albanian is so good. But also I'm the oldest of 5, so the experiment child, where your parents only knew how to read and write Albanian. They didn't know how to speak, read or write in English. Okay, that's your opinion. Don't really care, but okay. Maybe the fake one is you, but okay, bye. Bye. Thank you so much to that comment. You can go and spread that hate somewhere else. Thank you so much. Yes. Anyways, what I was saying, we've got some really cool things coming up. So we are recording a new podcast episode, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of the new zhuzhin that we've done with our content. We've brought in a lot of voiceover content, because we want to be as close to the community as possible, and the podcast allows us to do that. But we want we want the audience to have a better idea of who we are individually and who we are when we come together. Who is Lejla? Who is Leonarda? Who are these people and what they believe in and all that kind of stuff. So you'll see a lot more of that content coming through. And we've got some plans coming up. And we hit our 1-year anniversary on the 4th of August of the podcast being launched. So we can't wait for you guys to see what we've got planned for the 1-year anniversary. It's a lot of exciting things coming. And it's summer. It's the best time of the year. We are on the 8th month of this year, and we've got Christmas coming up. Mariah Carey is defrosting as we speak. So we've got a couple of festive months coming up. I like Lejla as well. Yeah, thank you, Islamic video. And that's kind of it. But what have we been doing so far? So because there's a lot of behind of the scenes going on, we've also been ill. Of course, we are humans. So some of our content is a bit slow to come out, but there are some really cool, exciting stuff coming up. The Kosovan vlog is almost edited, and that will be coming out soon. Lejla is working on that, and we can't wait for you guys to see what we got up in Kosovo in June. It seems like we were there last year, but it was only literally a couple of weeks ago that we were in Kosovo. We had so much fun. And yeah, that's kind of it. That's literally kind of it. And you know, my favorite part of this whole of this journey and this journey with all you guys and the whole community is, one, the messages that we get from you guys personally, either through to me or to Lejla, and messages that you guys send to the Trime Instagram or TikTok, wherever it is, or even emails that we get and stories that we get. But my sweet spot is also like all the hate comments that we get. That is like one of my favorite parts, because it just makes me laugh. So thank you to those devoted and dedicated to that part of their life. Truly, you make me laugh and you bring so much happiness into my life. Thank you so much. Never forget you. You're never forgotten. You are never forgotten. But yeah, how is everyone? Where are you guys watching us from? Well, watching me. I keep saying us because I'm so used to having my sidekick here, but she's not here today. She's living her life. She's hosting today. New York. I'm in the US. There's a lot. We've got a lot of listeners from the US. New York. That is pretty cool. It's like early in the day there. London, yeah, like me. London gal. London gal. No, that's pretty cool. We sometimes have listeners from Australia as well, which I find so crazy because that just, they're so far away. 3:13 at work. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes I watch some creators in the US, but obviously I watch them UK time. It would be like 10 p.m. For them, it's like, I don't know, 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. or later, like 6 p.m. And they go on and on and on, into the early mornings. But obviously for them, it's just the, early afternoon, evening into the night. Whereas in London, it could be like 3 p.m. and I'd see some of them and I'm just like, how, like, good for, like, I envy you guys. I really do. Do you support Palestine here? Yes, we do. Both me and Lejla. That's kind of like, I don't really know anyone that's been through a refugee kind of experience would do it. I mean, I came in the back of a lorry in the UK, so I'd find it really hard if I didn't. I'd find it like I've got mental issues if I didn't. But yes, we do. Oh, thank God. Thank you for saying that. Yes, no, we definitely do. I mean, for people that follow us on our personal accounts, we never stop talking about it. So, yeah, it's sad. It's incredibly sad. It's a dystopian world that we live in. Yeah, crazy. Oh my God, me and you both. Yeah, you know what? Like, some people are so surprised when I tell them, yeah, I came, my parents, me, my brother, some of my uncles, we literally came in back of a lorry. And that's the story of Ballymorey, pretty much. And they're so surprised. But I think the people that are most surprised are actually like English born people, because obviously we're passing white and I've got this thick London accent. They would never think, they would think, you're from Italy, or you're like the like acceptable European. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, they get really surprised. Are you from Pristina? Yes, I am from Pristina. Passing whites. Okay, I love the awareness from you. Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't identify as white. I identify as most Albanians. I just identify as Albanian from Kosovo. And that's pretty much it. I guess if you like me and Zizi Mami, where we are both in London, and if I don't know if Zizi Mami is raised in London, but I was raised in North London, so my whole neighbors, my friend group, everyone, one of my best, I grew up with Jamaican neighbors. I would go to Jamaican barbecues every weekend, and they are the best. And then I would go to like my Congolese neighbors, and I would have like Congolese food and jollof rice and all that kind of stuff. So I pretty much was exposed to all kinds of ethnic backgrounds and ethnic groups that I related to them much more than I ever related to just an English person, unfortunately. So that's why my friend group has always been like massive ethnic group, and I didn't really grow up with Albanians. The first proper Albanian friend or sister that I have is Lejla, and that's vice versa with both me and her, because we had no Albanians in school. I've had no Albanians in university, no Albanians in any workplace, and obviously now I work for myself and I run the family business with my brother, but I didn't have that growing up. So my best close friends were all Jamaicans, Nigerians, Congolese, people from like India, South Africans, like actual like South Africans, and all those kind of like groups, even like Egyptians, Lebanese people, so now like that's just why I identify myself as passing white, because we're not treated as white, especially if you're speaking Albanian. And I've had a lot of experience where people have just made judgments, and then this accent comes out and they're like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean you. You've got an English accent. Bugger off. No, I was raised in Margate. Oh, okay. We're in North, in like Harrow ends, like proper North Wesians. Been in London 16 years now. Yeah, I've been here since I was 5, so it would be basically 26 years now. I'm 31 now. Love that our community is so versatile and we can get along with anyone, basically. Yeah, literally. Hi Tinag 1973. Hi ladies, love you guys. Thank you so much. We love you. Onyama Jakovore. My Vira Jakovore. I love her. She's so cute. What are some awesome places in Pristina you recommend checking out? Oh, that's a good one. Number 1, Liburnia. I would definitely go. It has like the most traditional, really nice dishes. Like it just brings you back to like your nan's garden, because my grandparents on both sides, they've passed away now, so we don't have like someone to go, like I don't have anyone like that to go back to. But definitely like Liburnia, Shabonis, like Chiboba. Like I would definitely go to Shabonis for Chiboba, unless you're going to go to Prizren, because we all know Prizren does the best Chiboba. And then Noya, but Noya is like high end. And places like that, because this year when I went in June, so many new places opened up, which I was like, what? And then where Kofete Voglayan in Pristina, there's like really nice coffee and restaurants. Yeah. And I know there's one restaurant, I think it's called Teshbia in Pristina. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's near Kofete Vogla, Teshbia, where they have like salad spieß, like all this salad shope, basically like katonet, and really nice food. If you guys know what I'm talking about, please correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Definitely go there. Me too, I can relate. Yeah, definitely. Now in Greenwich. Yeah, Greenwich is not bad, I'm like now in the Caton. I'm in the Caton now. Oh, thank you, Zizi. Oh, Liburnia. Yeah, literally is really nice. Tishbia Vieter. Yeah, thank you, Yehona. Yeah, Tishbia Vieter. Like it's really It's really nice. I really liked it. It was my first time going there. But I just, honestly, when I go Kosovo, if I'm going by myself, I'll just go to my teyze because obviously flea massage. Let's get real. You can't really get flea massage properly like you could get it at family. And my teyze, I've got 6. Alhamdulillah, I've got 6. And when one of us go, when my mum goes or one of my sisters or I go, they all get together and they call us over for like flea massage, and we spend the whole day, or pita malaknoor or whatever it is. And so for food wise, I always go to family because they just do it the best. They just do it the best. But if I'm going out, then I would just go to like Shesh, and I literally just, the first coffee I see, I just go in there. Like, I'm not picky. I'm not really picky. Yeah, and that's kind of it. Oh my god, I miss Flea. I need to go to mum's. You know what? My mum's in Kosovo, she's coming home like in 2 weeks. I can't wait for her to come back so she can just, call us over for dinner. How selfish is that? Well, I don't think it's selfish. I just think, mum's cooking is mum's cooking. Best place for burek. Oh, you know what? For me personally, I don't eat burek in any restaurant. And that's just because I was raised with a diabetic dad. So my mum has kind of raised us with really light burek. What I mean by that is she's made it with olive oil, and she's made it very like light in terms of like for your digestion. And in Kosovo, and not just in Kosovo, but in the whole Balkans, and like in Turkey, and then you've got the influence of like the cuisine from Asia and West Asia and Central Asia and the whole Arab world. They have a lot of heavy oil, especially in the Balkans, and because of that, I don't eat burek in Kosovo, which is so sad. I don't, not in restaurants, and not even at families, because it's so heavy. So I don't have any suggestions. I don't know where to tell you to go. I mean, the best place for me, I've always liked, is anywhere in Prizren. Anywhere in Prizren, for cipoba, for like pitolka, for like burgers, like all that kind of stuff. But Librania is my favorite for like traditional food. I can't cook our country food, only Jamaican food. Never wanted to learn, but love it, wallahi. I know, you know what? I make rice in so many different versions. I make jollof rice, which I didn't even know I was making jollof rice. I just like to experiment with spices, and that's what you get when you're the oldest and you have to stick like super glue with your mum and help her with cooking and stuff. I cook like an Indian inspired rice with cardamom and star anise and cumin seeds and all that kind of stuff. And then I cook like a Kosovan rice, because my husband doesn't really like, because I'm in charge of the rice. He doesn't know how to make rice to save his life, but he knows how to make everything else. He knows how to make a banging treleche. He's like the treleche guy, the grill guy, the cipoba guy. He knows how to make like all the meat stuff. So yeah, but it's hard to make rice when you've been taught to make rice for like 10 people, and then you make rice for like 2 people. I've got tipsiya. Like, how are you supposed to make rice for 2 people in a tipsi, like a Kosovan tipsi, which my mum bought me from Kosovo when I got married like almost 10 years ago. I've never learned how to do that. So I just, I've had to learn how to do rice different ways. And that's why now I'm making like all these kind of versions of rice. Homemade burek is the best. Asni fur nuk e bën kumetit sa të shishëm, sidomos in Kosovo, without filling. I know, you know what, Yehorn? Like, when back in the day, kur jam kon marri, of course. So kur je marri, you're not fully developed in your brain. You could eat anything because trupi gjitha ka pranu, you're young, you're whatever. And I would get like mantilla. Mantilla are my favorite. Mantilla are my absolute favorite. For anyone that doesn't know what mantilla is, it's literally dough balls filled with mincemeat. It's like the dolma of like Turkey, but obviously with just a dough casing. And I would go sometimes and get some mantilla, but honestly, the filling, it's like pigeon filling. Like, who is this feeding? You might as well just have made me a scone instead of an actual manti. So I completely agree with you. Mum used to cook and me just eat, never watch. Yeah, you know what? Like, but if you had that kind of like upbringing, that's so much. It's so fun because it allows you to also create your own kind of style of like cooking and stuff. And now, for example, my siblings will ask me for certain dishes, but when it's like Bairam, I would always get my mum to make the yani, and then me and my husband will marinate the meat and get that ready because we do it a bit better because my husband works in restaurants and he knows exactly what he's doing. And then trileche and stuff like that. But the yani is always like top notch for my mum. And even like stuffed peppers, like spetat most. My mum, she's the only one that can do it properly. I've never, my tears at anyone, like no one has ever done it the way my mum's done it. And I don't know what she does to it. And I've watched her 1,000 times and I could not for the life of me cook it or make it. You're still young and beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm trying. All I have to say is genetics. Yes, I know. Yeah, exactly. Same with me, Horn. Like mantilla are literally my favorite. With a bit of cuss, it's the best. Like cuss on the side, spetat përgjet, djath, do patligjona me do kryp, do kasraveca me do kryp. Oh, banging. It bangs so. It's just so nice. So nice. I think I know you from somewhere. Probably the podcast. You know what? This is when Layla's not here, all I end up talking about is food. And then I get myself hungry for no reason. And everyone else, we all get hungry. We all get hungry, but we don't have anywhere to go and eat mantilla in London. Unless you know someone that makes mantilla, then hit me up, please. But yeah, this year Kosovo looks really busy. I've been like watching the videos and I've been speaking to my parents. My parents were actually locked in because they we live in Pristina, and they were like they couldn't go out. It was too hot. And I said to my dad, I was like, "Bab, mere moment, shkan Rogov. I don't know why you're staying in Pristina in this heat. Go to Rogov, to like Drini Bar and all those kind of places. Get a cabin. It's only you and mum. It's not like you're dragging kids with you. And go. Flad. Kanalchurch. That's what I would do. But our parents they're stuck in their ways. They like to stay in their own houses. They don't really like to go anywhere. They don't really like to do anything. They just like, no, I want to stay here. No, I want to stay there. And they're always there for like a month plus. But this year, it looks like it's really, really busy. Like incredibly busy, which is good to see because I think for the last few years, it hasn't been as busy. But this year's been incredibly busy. And obviously, we've got Sunny Hill Festival, which we actually wanted to be part of, but our schedules just weren't marrying up. And when you work with family, like in my case, it's very hard to then coordinate days and stuff. And I would rather my parents go and enjoy their time with their family than me basically go because of Sunny Hill Festival. Are you normal? That's what they would say to me. But next year you might see us in the Sunny Hill Festival. You never know. We might be there. Me and Lejla. World domination. Turning everyone into a feminist. We might be there. We don't know. But yeah. The weather finally has cooled down in London. Sorted. because we were about to peak, bruv. Like, we were about to become like kebabs out here, charred kebabs. But should resort it. It's a bit cooler now, and it's not as hot, and that's the main thing. That's like the main thing. But yeah, it's Friday. The weekend is upon us finally, and we are just watching everyone in Kosovo going to Dorsma. Is anyone in Kosovo right now? Have you guys been to Kosovo? Have you finished like your Kosovan trips this year, or is everyone kind of still waiting to go? Because I know some people still haven't actually gone. Some people are going in the middle of August and then staying until September. Some people that don't have kids, you know, they would go when it's a bit more cheaper and then come back when it's a bit more cheaper. And this is one of the reasons why I don't go to Kosovo in the summers a lot, because who's paying £700 for one ticket to go and come back? And then, you know, you have to think about so many things in Kosovo. It's almost like going to an all-inclusive for 2 weeks in Turkey. That's literally how expensive it's become. So I just go off season. Well, I try to anyways. Last time we went in June because it was Pride. And then last year I went in January with my husband, because obviously, you know, people that celebrate Christmas, they went during December and stayed a bit. And then, you know, we went middle of January. Yeah, that was really nice. That was like, we rented a car because obviously, you know, Queen, especially in the winter, I would rather drive everywhere around Pristina. And we were also going to Jakov to go to that restaurant where they serve you like mish mekatsi, like actual like huge platters of fish and huge platters of meat. So I knew that we needed a car to go all the way to Jakov and back, because obviously there was like 20 people and we couldn't fit everyone in 2 cars. So we needed 3-4 cars. So we went with 3-4 cars. And it was interesting because it snowed. And obviously in London, when it snows, but I don't know, like, it's not that crazy. And if you do become nervous, you would just stay home and maybe take an Uber. But in Kosovo it's a bit different. It snowed and it had winter wheels and stuff, and it was like interesting to drive, especially where there's loads of like hills and stuff up and down. But it was really fun. I really liked it. It was good. It wasn't bad. It was alright. My mum kept calling me Chica. Muska ba med dal med sukrutikon. Nalo. Because she knows I'm a bit of a, you know, I'm a passionate driver. Let's just say that. I take after my dad. I'm a very passionate driver. Fast and furious. That's the kind of like driver I am. You know, I just, I don't really play around when it comes to driving. A to B, the shortest way I can. And that's kind of it. I mean, Layla survived up until now, so I'm sure she's got loads of stories to share with everyone about my driving. I think I'm a good driver. I've driven from London to Switzerland, Germany. I love the Autobahn in Germany is like the sweet spot, because there's obviously no speed limits and everyone actually follows the rules of the motorway. Whereas in London, they don't. If anyone's driven on the M25, M1, you know how it is. It's a bit who gave you your license kind of situation. And then obviously, you know, we drove from Croatia to Kosovo a lot of the time. And then in Kosovo when we were kids. Like, your grandparents would allow you to drive the tractor if you sweetened them up a bit. That's kind of like the family I have. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, my dad's family, yeah, they let us wild with the sheep. Like, absolutely wild. We would come home head to toe in mud, and just like, we would smell of sheep. But that was the life. That was genuinely the life. We would go with a whole lorry to the carton because there was like 100 of us going to the carton, and there were like 10 socha we brought with us because a huge group. All the kids had to be put into a lorry because it was too many. But that was the life. That was genuinely the life. Now it's not as much like that anymore. And it's maybe because we're grown up and we actually know what safety is. Back in the day, you didn't really think about safety. Even as kids, like, you would literally sleep with a loop, like, you know, mam, pushka me flight me loop, and like, no one really, like said, okay, like, be careful. Everyone was like, okay, Knacho, just, shout if you need anything. And that was kind of just how it was. Well, for me anyways. For me anyways. It's a bit quiet today. I'm probably going to stay on until 9, and then I'm going to log off because I do then have to go. I have a meeting. I have to meet up with my husband basically later. So I have to leave. My day starts really early and it ends really late. It's just the life of Leonarda, or Leonarda, or Leonarda. It's just the life. But yeah, do you guys have any questions? I'm really, really red. It's really warm in this room, and I've got so many lights behind me and in front of me. So I look like I've got a temperature, but I promise you I don't. I'm just red as a tomato. Red as a tomato. Hi, E. I haven't seen you in a long time. Oh, sorry. Hello, guys. Hello. It's really fun tonight. Actually, it's been really, really fun. We've spoken about food. We've spoken about Breaka. We've spoken about Flea. Yeah, we've spoken about a lot of things. A lot of things. I did see that Dua Lipa went Kosovo. Well, obviously, I mean, she's the one heading Sunny Hill Festival, but she got her citizenship. She's now a Kosovan citizen. For the Kosovans in this chat, do you guys that grew up in the diaspora, do you guys have your Kosovan citizenship? Or do you just have the citizenship of where you grew up? Because that's been like, because I was born in Kosovo, so I was born in Pristina, and I've been wanting to actually get my citizenship in Kosovo because I think it's one way or another, especially if you're in London and you know about Brexit, having the Kosovo citizenship will eventually be a better benefit. And I would rather have a British and a Kosovo because you never know. You know, at one point I do want to go back. I want to go back to the motherland. But you might need to go back earlier. So you kind of want to be legit. You don't want to be an immigrant in your own country, overstaying a visa in a country that you were born in. it just makes no sense. So yeah, no, I'm definitely, yeah, both. So which one do you have, Shem? You've got a Kosovan one, and if you don't mind me asking, which is the second citizenship that you've got? Oh, German too. Yeah, see, that's nice. And I think a lot of the people, a lot of diaspora kids from Germany and Switzerland have both. You see it less in England. In England, you don't see as much. You don't see as much London people having, or just England in general, like the whole UK. You don't see much of them having a Kosovan citizenship. But also, I feel like the diaspora kids from Germany, Switzerland, and even Sweden, and maybe even France, are much more closer to Kosovo than the kids in the UK. I don't know why. I mean, I've always been really close to, to being Albanian and, being Kosovan, like from Kosovo and Albanian and whatever it is. But I think there is a disconnect. And I think it's because, one, we are further away from Germany, but also two, unless you're living in like Camden or you're living in like North London, like Wood Green, Haringey, areas where there's a huge Albanian population, you're kind of left alone. Like you're not really with your community, so you kind of have to adapt to other communities, which is, is what it is what it is. It can't be helped. We're living in a foreign land. It's, it is what it is. Home is now in England and in Kosovo. Home is, when you go Kosovo, you feel like you're out of place. When you come back to England, you feel like you're out of place and you actually never have a home. You don't actually feel 100% home anywhere, whether you are in the UK or whether you are back in Kosovo or Albania or even Macedonia or Molidzi, depending on where, from which country you're from within the Albanian ethnicity, because obviously we're stretched out. It's not just Albania and Kosovo. You've got Albanians in Turkey, Albanians in Macedonia, Albanians in Greece, Albanians in Montenegro, Albanians in Slovenia, pretty much Albanians everywhere. We are taking over, especially when you don't speak Albanian well. Yeah. And the thing is I think social media has a massive impact on this as well, because sometimes people make jokes, and it's just natural because obviously us as diaspora kids always made jokes, made fun of our own parents for saying certain words wrong in English or whatever. But it kind of makes you scared to even speak in Albanian, and this is so true, especially when I went to an interview with the elite way with Elita Rude in Kosovo, and we had to speak Shqip, and obviously my Shqip is Kosovar Shqip, but also it's the way I speak. Like I just I want to folje tamam, like Shqip. I don't have the advantage of knowing how to speak Shqip letteror, like grammatical Shqip. I have the advantage of reading it, but not speaking it naturally. So when I had to go on that channel, I tell you, like, I was nervous more because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to express myself and get my message across. So, yeah, it is what it is. You're so famous. Nah, no, I'm not. Definitely I'm not. Thank you though, but definitely I'm not. With an accent, yeah, that's that's the one thing that I'm really happy about. That, look, as long as you obviously practice, but you know what it is, it's, for me, it's like, as long as you know how to speak a bit, it's okay. Like, we've got Albanians from all four corners of the earth. We're all going to have different accents. I've got a different accent, you've got a different accent, everyone's got a different accent. It just depends on how you grew up. Please, Shqip ose Frenchisht. Frenchisht unë nuk di. E me fol Shqip, problemi është tani kena njerëz që veç folin anglisht këto. Nëse e keni pyetje Shqip, që dhe në koment pyetjen shqip e ta përgjigje shqip. Po, but nëse po fol për podcasti I ka krejt titra shqip në YouTube edhe Spotify. Krejt shqip I ka. E për TikTok e për Instagram nuk muj mi bo krejt shqip, se është problemi që festival captions nuk, asni sistem nuk I ka shqip. E na kër I bojmë titrat shqip për YouTube edhe për Spotify, na I bojmë fjall me fjall. Na I bojmë custom. Well, unë I boj. Shumicën e kohës unë I bëj titra shqip për YouTube edhe për Spotify. And let me tell you, it's a big job, se nuk ka sistem që ta përkthen shqip, tamam shqip, qyshe folëm kështu, me gjithë mesin e dialektit tosk edhe me gjithë mesin e dialektit geg. Se ti na tash do të me pos titrat ku krejt e kuptojmë shqipen. Are you going to Sunny Hill Festival? No, because I'm in England. I'm in London. I'm not. Both me and Lejla were in Kosovo in June. And we were there for Pride Month, but we met so many amazing people. And had so much fun. We really wanted to go for Sunny Hill Festival, but it wouldn't align with our schedules, and we're just incredibly busy at the moment. But maybe next year, because I actually think Sunny Hill Festival is fun. But yeah, this year it was just not going to happen. And I've got, kur thirr puna. S'ki qajbon. Is what it is. But yeah, nëse s'fol as anglisht, nëse s'fol anglisht, po fol shqip edhe lexon shqip, titrat janë krejt shqip në YouTube edhe në Spotify. So për ato, krejt podcasti pejs fillimit, gjithë ka me titra shqip, gjithë. Because we get that question all the time. Can you do the subtitles in Albanian? And I will say in English, all of our podcast episodes on YouTube and on Spotify. On Spotify, we upload the podcast in video format specifically for the Albanian subtitles. So all the Albanian subtitles I do, and they are done custom. So they are done with accuracy. To make sure that it's correct, but also to make sure that both, all the dialects in the Albanian community can understand it. So we have to balance it out, make sure that words are grammatical, but both a Tosk and a Geg dialect, can understand them both. Because they're not that different, but they can seem a bit different. Because the Geg dialect has extra characters in certain words or less characters in other words. I went down a rabbit hole of the differences, and I learned so much. My brain just learned so much about both dialects, which, I mean, it works in my favor now because I translate the podcast, but I don't know why we've made our... but that's a linguistic kind of game. It's, it comes with the territory of the Balkans being the Balkans, really. But it is what it is. But yeah, definitely you can watch it in Albanian, the podcast, because that was really important for us, because we do have a lot of the older generations. I'm talking about like 60 years plus that only know Albanian and only read Albanian. So that's why it was so important for us to make sure that the podcast is accessible to all Albanian women, or Albanian people that actually want to watch it, but to everyone, because we only, Albanian women is what we center the podcast around. It's about Albanian women, and it's about the life of an Albanian woman, and that's, but we also wanted to be accessible in English, because we also understand that there are Albanian women that don't know fully Albanian and they wouldn't understand us, but also because for us that have been raised in London, it's so much easier to express ourselves, especially when we're using professional terminology or like Vogue terminology. So Vogue stands for violence against women and girls, or like domestic abuse terminology. All those words only exist in English. They don't really exist in Albanian. So it's very hard to find words when you're speaking about these topics in Albanian without the terminology. It's incredibly hard. Sorry, I keep getting notifications. I don't know why. Leave, please. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy on live with 4 other people. But this is pretty good. I think I'm going to end the live here. If you are going to Sunny Hill Festival, I hope you guys are having a lovely time in Sunny Hill Festival. Super jealous from the UK, from London. If you are going to Dorsma, please put in a volley for me. Dance your heart out in Volley. And if you are like me and Lejla, and we are just like in the diaspora watching everyone else, then I guess the only thing I can say is I'll keep you in my praise. But other than that, I'm going to love you and leave you. And we will be back on live in 2 weeks' time. And we should have our next podcast episode out really, really soon. But you guys, please follow us on Instagram and also here on TikTok to keep up with all the new announcements. But also, if you're not signed up to our newsletter, that's where you will get most of the information from us and kind of the sneak peeks of our new projects. But yeah, I'll love you and leave you and have a lovely evening, everyone. Bye.